Hello everyone. So today I'm going to tell you about doubly linked lists. Okay, so here we are going to consider three nodes A, B, and C. Okay, so A is going to be the head, and C is going to be the tail. Okay, so because A is the head, it doesn't have any node behind it. That's why prev actually points at null, and same thing for tail. It doesn't have a no node in front of it. Okay, so that's why next is points towards null as well. Okay, so as you can see here, A, B, and C are linked with next and prev, which means that the next node after A is B, and the node before B is A. Same goes for B and C. Okay, so now if you want to add, for example, a node at the beginning, what we do is here prev doesn't points towards null no more. Okay, it is going to point towards our new I'm sorry, I have changed the color. Okay, our new node that we're going to call D. Okay, and D is going to point towards A. Okay, so we're gonna say that the head now is not A anymore. Okay, it's going to be D. The head is going to be D. Okay, so now the prev of D is going to point towards null because there is nothing behind D. Okay, so now if we want to add at the end, actually we do the same thing here, null no more. Okay, so C is going to point towards E with the next, and same E is going to tell that there is C before it, and it is going to point towards null because there is no node after E. Okay, so now if we want to add between two nodes like B and C, basically what we do, we are going to take this link off. Okay, so now we're going to say that B points towards this new node that we're going to call F. Okay, so okay, F is going to point as a previous towards B. Okay, the previous of C is going to be the new F. Okay, and the next of F is going to be C. So now we have added this one between B and C. Okay, so now if we want to delete, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that here the tail now is going to be the E, no more the C. Okay, so if that makes sense, now we're going to talk about the deleting. Okay, so if you want to delete the first one, for example, what we do here is we are going to say that A is going to become, A is not going to point towards this no more. It's going to point towards null. Okay, this link doesn't exist no more. We are going to isolate, actually this is an isolation of D. Okay, we're going to say that no, the head goes back to being A. Okay, so now we are going to free this memory because D isn't the head no more. Okay, so same goes for deleting at the end. Okay, so we are going to say that prev here next doesn't point at E no more, it points at null. Okay, because it's going to be the last one. Okay, and the tail of course is going to be C now because C is going to be the last one. So now we can free this memory. Okay, free this memory and get rid of E. Okay, so basically same goes for F. If we want to delete F between B and C, what we do is we're going to say that instead of connecting to F, B is going to directly connect to C. Okay, so you're going to take this one off, this one off, this one off. We're going to isolate. Okay, prev is going to be, C is going to point to B. Okay, so this link is done. Now we have isolated F, so we just have to free the memory as well. So this is basically how we do. I hope that it is understandable, and thank you for listening.